So the new Squid Game event finally released today. It had actually unlocked where I'm at not that long ago, so I played through a lot of the modes and matches, as well as zombies and Warzone, to give my overall opinion and perspective on what I think about the new Squid Game event, if it's good, if it's bad, or if it's just kinda mid. I'll be talking about how the modes were and the quality of the event as well, especially compared to some of the previous events we've gotten so far. Some of them have been okay, some of them have been not so great, but with that being said, let's get right into the video. But before we do that, be sure to subscribe with notifications set to all so you don't miss out on another upload. Alright, let's talk about the new Squid Game collab event in Black Ops 6. The first thing I want to talk about is the red light, green light mode in the multiplayer that we saw most of the advertisements about, and it's really what most of the event focuses on in a, I guess, thematic way. So first impressions, it does take a while to load into the red light, green light specific mode itself. I think that's because there's a really large number of required players, and typically, those sorts of modes I find just take more time to get players. I remember back in, I think it was like Modern Warfare 2019 with Ground War, it took a while to get into those matches, but genuinely though, red light, green light took legit forever to load into a lobby because it needs like over 40 players or something. But the problem is I was just stuck in like a lobby and it's like searching for 28 players, searching for 25 players, searching for 29 players. It was just like going up and down, like fluctuating like that. And I'm not kidding, this is how long it took for me to get into a lobby. I sped it up just to show you, but like I was basically sitting there debating if it was even worth the wait at one point. But I did want to talk about the mode, so I just kind of dealt with it. It was definitely annoying though. Now I did get into the mode at some point, but it like removed me from the first lobby and put me into another lobby that loaded almost immediately, so I don't really know what was up with the matchmaking there. But basically the first round you go on green and stop on red. Pretty basic. It's pretty easy to get eliminated if you move even slightly, so you sort of have to time it properly so you don't die. It's basically like the show, so it's not so different if you've actually watched that. In the second round, there are these blue cards that you collect if you want a melee weapon, and then there are the piggy banks when someone dies, and those give you extra points. A lot of people get eliminated pretty fast in the early rounds. I think it was like round 1, like most of the lobby was gone. If you get eliminated though in the first round out of 3, you do spectate the entire time or you just leave the lobby. I didn't really notice anyone going for melee kills when I played. Most people seemed like we're just focused on winning the actual game mode itself. I unfortunately didn't win because I didn't run close enough to the finish line, so yeah, sad to say, but overall it wasn't too bad. It's what I expected. Do I think I'd play it more often? I don't think so, but it wasn't bad. I feel like this would probably be a good game mode if you're playing with like a lot of other people and people are talking most of it, but if you're playing it solo, it might not be as fun. Next up, I want to talk about Pentathlon, which is the new mode specific to the Squid Game event that lets you basically play through the standard gameplay maps, but there is a twist. Basically, every now and then the gameplay mode and the objective switches, which honestly, I actually like this idea. It's cool that you can go from something like hardpoint to domination, then team deathmatch and things like that. In my opinion, I actually wouldn't even mind this constantly being in the game. Sometimes there is the red light, green light as well, because there is a score streak that someone would activate, and basically what the score streak does is that the enemy team has to stop at red light where they get eliminated, pretty similar to, I would say, really any other score streak. But something to keep in mind, it does affect you, and like your enemies, if you're like the one who's under the red light, green light thing, your enemies can still attack you. So kind of interesting, but anyways, the music is also from the soundtrack of the show. I thought that was pretty good, so I actually really enjoyed the Pentathlon game mode a lot. I think if anything, you want to give this one a try for sure. Next up is the Squid Game mosh pit, which is basically just a switch between a few different things, but the main objective is that your game mode is the same the whole time. So if you load into domination, it's just domination, but there is the addition of 2 things: the piggy bank system to get extra points, and then like the big piggy bank that drops kind of at one point in the middle of the map and you have to go claim it. And then there's also the roulette hand cannon game mode feature, which I talked about in the video yesterday on the actual details of the event. But basically there's like a hand cannon that drops into the center or somewhere around the map, and then one person picks it up from either team and you kind of have to go on a kill streak with it. But the catch is that with every shot you take, it could blow up and eliminate you, and then when it's dropped, someone else can grab it, and so on and so forth. You get to see the entire map, but everyone can see who has the hand cannon basically on the map as well. The mosh pit is essentially just like Pentathlon if you don't want to deal with the game modes changing every now and then. Personally, I don't really see another way that they could have done the Squid Game theme in multiplayer. I think the changes that were added fit the theme, and it works well for what they were trying to do. Like I said, I enjoyed Pentathlon, and I can see myself playing it through until the event is scheduled to end. Basically, I will say that mosh pit was pretty similar to Pentathlon, but I didn't prefer prefer as much just because like it didn't feel as special as the pentathlon mode where you had the modes changing and whatever. To me, it just felt more fun to have that switching game mode feature. I also felt like the red light, green light score streak was pretty creative, fits with the theme well. It wasn't too special, but like the idea is that it does fit with the event's theme. In my opinion, the disappointing thing about the Squid Game event was, unfortunately, zombies. I felt like this mode didn't really express much in terms of creativity, and I felt like a lot better could have been done just because there wasn't much to do that was different from the base version of the game already. Dead light, green light, basically, it switches between 3 phases. Green light, where you earn double the essence, red light, where you lose essence whenever you move, but not if you're getting kills, and then finally, dead light, which is where the zombies start to swarm you and are more powerful, and your objective is to survive until the next phase. The thing is, you just kind of have to keep running around through dead phase until green light comes on and things are normal again. So honestly, the switch between the phases just didn't really feel that special. The mode takes place on Citadel de Mort, and basically you just play through the main Easter egg, but it is directed in that it tells you where to go and what to do, but it doesn't have level caps like in directed mode itself. You can play solo or in a squad. I opted to do solo. I just felt like it wasn't that fun personally. I don't really see the big difference between playing this and regular zombies. It didn't impress me much, to tell you the truth. So far, I didn't see Liberty Falls on there. I just saw Citadel de Mort, so maybe the Liberty Falls version is going to drop later in the event. That's what I'm assuming is what's going to happen. But now, would I play Dead Light, Green Light a few more times? Yeah, probably. I think it might grow on me and I may end up enjoying it more than I think, but for now, I just felt like it could have been a bit more creative had it included some other things to it that felt more in line with the Squid Game show. The Squid Game mode in Warzone was surprisingly more fun than I thought it would be. The only issue I had was that you had to squad up, but I just turned squad fill off and played through it solo. I kind of wish that there was a solo option instead. I felt like I wasn't really at a disadvantage though, because I did notice that there were a lot of other players that were running solo as well, so it wasn't like I was the only one that had that idea. Basically with Warzone, the way it works is that you load in normally like any other Warzone match on Urzikstan, but the difference is that every so often a game mode starts as a part of the Squid Game stuff, so you have to do a number of things depending on what the robot girl says to do. So either you do something like open as many loot caches as you can, spend as much cash as you can at a buy station, open special crates, shoot a ton of bullets, get a lot of airtime while you're parachuting, things like that. The idea is that you have to beat the others at this and do more of the objective. If you fail to do so in time, you get eliminated and you just get shot at from the sky basically. There are also red light, green light phases where if you move, shoot, so on and so forth, you get eliminated. If you don't move or try to get any eliminations in, you're fine. So that's an interesting thing that I felt like added some more to the base version of Warzone. I've said this a lot of times before on the channel, I'm not really a huge fan of Warzone. I don't play it much, but honestly though, as someone that doesn't like Warzone, I felt like this version of Warzone was one that I would actually play more often. It just gives you more stuff to do, I feel, and the stuff that you get to do is kind of funny, like the one where you just have to shoot a bunch of bullets. You're just standing there and like firing at will. So it's silly, but it also makes the game just feel a bit more fun because there's something else that you're doing instead of just running around and hoping you don't get shot at or whatever. So in terms of the event pass, there are of course the 2 tracks, premium and free. I didn't get the premium pass for the event since I didn't really feel like it was worth it that much. However, based on the free pass, here are my thoughts. To get the final tier of the event pass, you need to have gained 356,000 XP, and then you'll get access to the weapon. If you got the premium pass, you'll get access to the frontman operator. I thought at first that that was a huge number of XP, just like visually it looks like a lot, but I noticed that I was really flying through the tiers from just within a few games, and I already saw people with the frontman operator and things like that. So I guess if you even load with double XP as well, it's going to be even faster for you than the base. I tried both, few rounds of double XP and some without, and I felt like it was still really doable anyways to get a lot of tiers done. I was hoping that it would take me more time to complete this stuff since the event is supposed to last for like 20 days, but it is what it is. Maybe I just play too much, I don't know. So in terms of the rewards themselves, the instant first reward that you get is the Neuron Player 006 skin that gives Neuron basically the outfit from the show. I actually think that this skin was pretty cool. Basically everyone was like using this one. It fits well with the Squid Game theme. There is a second skin that you get in the base version of the event pass, which is for Maya, and it is the Player 115 skin. I think this was a good one in my opinion, and I like this one. I actually prefer these 2 skins over the frontman operator. I did see someone using that one in game. It was okay. It wasn't anything crazy or that special. In my opinion, the VIPs and the pink guards actually were better skins than the frontman operator. I think it would have been nice if we could at least get one of the pink guards in the base pass, or even if they added it to the premium pass in place of one of the weapon blueprints. That might have made the pass itself more enticing. You get like 2 operators and things like that, but those skins will be coming at some point during the event as a tracer pack with the 3 masked guys, the triangle, the square, and the circle. You can actually see what they will look like by heading over to the Warzone menu and checking out the operators under Black Ops 6. They don't look too bad in my opinion. I think the VIPs look pretty cool. Youngie, the robot girl thing, that's going to be a bit bizarre to see in multiplayer. I have a strong feeling there's going to be a lot of that one running around. I mean, it might be funny to see it in a game, but in any case, for this event, the skins are pretty good, though I feel like the frontman could have been better somehow. I don't know, something looks off about it in comparison to some of the other ones. Overall, my thoughts on the event are that it's actually pretty good. There are some aspects to it that I wasn't a fan of, but overall, I think that the Pentathlon mode is good, Warzone is good as well. Zombies was weak in my opinion, and the event pass could be better, but in an overall sense, I don't find myself walking away from this event like extremely disappointed or anything like that. I think I do prefer a bit more to the Archie's event that was the previous one that just ended. I liked this one just more. I felt like the game modes were more fun. There was more to it than just like collecting trophies. You actually have like different game modes, different things added to the base version of the game that just felt like it fit the theme quite well. Now, do I think that this event could have been improved? Sure. I think maybe they could have added some more collaborative game modes, such as the platforming glass bridge. But the sort of little changes that they made, like the symbols for domination or the red light, green light stuff, is pretty fun. It's in line with the show. It fits into the game itself and the gameplay style of Call of Duty. At the end of the day, they can't really do anything like Roblox, right, where you have like the actual like candy cutting game. They can't really do that in this kind of game, but I feel like maybe if they had added just a bit more stuff like the platforming glass bridge, honestly, it could have probably done like the candy cutting thing where you have to like shoot the shape out of the wall. I don't know, that's like, it sounds silly, but like it could have added more to the event. But in any case, I don't really think the event is entirely totally disappointing, the worst thing ever. It's quite good for what it is. Could have been improved though. That's all I really had to say about this event. I think you guys might actually like it if you haven't gotten a chance to try it yet. If you have though, be sure to let me know in the comments below what you think about it, what your thoughts are on the modes, including zombies and Warzone. And yeah, I'll wrap things up there. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe with notifications set to all so you can stay up to date with all our latest videos. And that's all for today, folks.
Insta-kill.